been a while again because I was a little bit busy with client work, but it's time to make another YouTube video. Hello people, how is it going? Today I'm gonna tell you how to set up a gimbal properly. I'm gonna show you that on the AK2000 from Feiyutech, which I've been sent from Feiyutech to test out and review. I've been able to test it out on my commercial work, so I'm gonna be making a review pretty soon. But for now, I'm gonna show you how to set it up, and this applies to almost any gimbal on the market because they are pretty similar when it comes to setting them up. So yeah, I'm gonna show you that on this gimbal, but feel free to use that knowledge to any other gimbals you have. First of all, it's really important to set up your gimbal properly because otherwise it's gonna drop or it's gonna be unstable when you're using it. So if you're setting it up with a zoom lens, I would suggest to put your zoom lens in the middle of the zoom range so you can zoom in and zoom out and your lens is gonna be the most balanced. What I'm using here is my A7R2 with the Tamron 28-75, and I'm gonna set it to 50mm because that's gonna let the gimbal balance for when I zoom in to 75 or for when I zoom out to 28. So I'm just gonna set it to 50. And also what I want to do is I want to install my ND filter, because if you install the ND filter afterwards, it's gonna throw it off the balance. So I'm gonna install the ND filter, and as well as that I want to install my battery. And also what I want to do is to put the SD card in, because yeah, you just basically want everything to be installed into the camera. And because I'm using the Arca Swiss plates, I have this Manfrotto plate that it comes with the gimbal with the Arca Swiss adapter. So I'm just gonna mount it on there, and this is how I'm gonna be using it. So I'm just screwing it over there, and now I'm ready to mount it on a gimbal. So to mount it on a gimbal, the first thing we need to do is to insert the base plate into the gimbal, and the first thing we want to balance is this axis. So we basically want to hold the roll axis so it doesn't rotate, and we want to balance that axis at the same time. So this is pretty much get there. And it's very small adjustments you need to make, so you need to make sure you're doing it properly. But we are set for that, so I'm just gonna lock it over here on the bottom. And the next thing I'm gonna do is the roll axis, because I don't want the camera to spin. To do the roll axis, you need to undo this one, and you basically need to counterbalance to the opposite side of where it moves. So it moves this way, so I'm gonna be moving the gimbal this way, and it moves the other way now. So I just need to micro adjust it so it stays balanced on this axis, and that seems to work. So I'm just gonna lock this axis over here, and I'm gonna move to the tilt axis, which is over here. Same thing, I'm just unlocking that, and I'm gonna move the lens to the top to point upwards. And what I want to do here is to balance it so it stays in this position. As you can see, it does that pretty well right now. So I'm just gonna lock it over here, and now the gimbal is pretty much balanced, but because I moved it a little bit, the roll axis doesn't seem to be properly balanced, so I need to readjust that again, and now it seems to be working properly. So I'm locking that over, and the last thing is, I didn't reset it, but the last thing is the yaw axis. So to balance the yaw axis, I'm gonna get the gimbal up, and you want to hold it in this way, and you want to unscrew that, and what you want to do is you want it to be balancing on this axis over here. So you basically adjust that till it stays like this. Then we lock it, and then we can put the gimbal back to where it was, and it seems to be balanced pretty well. I probably need to make some micro adjustment again on the roll axis. It's pretty, like, you just need to keep going until you get the perfect balance. So I think this is pretty much it. And now the camera should be staying in one position when you put it in there. So if you put it here, it's still moving a little bit. So what I need to do is still balance it a little bit. Then we lock it and try again. And now it doesn't move. So you can put it in any position and it stays there. So now what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to turn it on, and the gimbal is balanced. One extra thing I have is that if you connecting any cables to the camera, you also want to make sure they are connected before you balance the gimbal. And now the camera is going to be able to zoom in, and it's still alright to balance it. And if I zoom out all the way, it's still balancing it out. So the best way to do it is this way, in my opinion. So this is pretty much how you set up the gimbal properly. Let me know in the comments if that was useful to you at all, and if you would like to learn anything about this gimbal or my other gimbal that I have, which is a Moza Aircross from Goodsen. I'm also gonna be testing out some other gimbals in the future, so if you're looking for a gimbal or you're looking for gimbal reviews, subscribe to my channel. If you like this video, leave it a like, ring the bell, do all the things, and yeah, let me know in the comments what you would like to see next. And I think this is everything for this video, so keep it safe guys, peace and love, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.